Hello, welcome back to Rani's Voices number 9. And I didn't do it for some time because I had a kind of major medical emergency, but I came unscathed. They said I had a stroke. I was worried whether I won't be able to use my hands, the little thing that I can use, or I won't be able to talk, which is my weapon. But finally, my angel is looking up. And I came out. I stayed in the hospital for about 8 to 9 days, and I came out fine. And here I am. I prepared this before I left for the hospital by ambulance, and now I'm back to talk about the country where I'm living in, Japan. Okay? Now when I say Japan, it's land of the rising sun. I'll be a little slow. This is land of the rising sun I made. Can you see the sun? And land of the rising sun I made. Now, when I say Japan, I think of a lot of things. 35 years, 36 years I've lived here. What did I learn from here? What did I, what surprised me? Because I came from India, and a lot of things surprised me. Lots and lots of things surprised me. The first thing that surprised me was when I went to Kyoto in 1990, beginning with my little toddler. I wanted to go to Kobe, and I had to go alone with him. So I went to the station and asked for the directions, how to go. So you know what the guy told me, the train station, whoever is taking care of? He said, "Do you have a wristwatch?" I said, "Yes." "Okay, then set 56 minutes and you get off. Whichever station it stops, you get off." I said, "What?" He said, "Yes, 56 minutes, you get off, that's all." And it's matter of fact, he said that and he walked away. And I was so petrified, and I was checking the time, and it came, 56 minutes, it stopped, and I got off at the correct station. That kind of astonished me. It was amazing how they could tell the time. They could predict 56 minutes it will stop, and they were so confident. He was so confident, just get off there, it will be fine. And that amazed me. That was the first shocking thing that I realized in Japan. So I know we can learn a lot, and about their civic sense, about their punctuality and the discipline. That is something I thought we got to learn. And when it came to me, when I was thinking about Japan, I said, after the war, they didn't have anything. Literally, they were wiped out. They were in ashes. But within a short time, in 1964, they came up with Shinkansen, bullet train, and they had the Olympics. So I made this craft thinking of Olympics. They worked like machines. They worked like gears and the machines and the circle, they roll over. And they did everything to get them ready for having an Olympics. And they're, sometimes when I think of it, even now, after so many years after independence, should I complain? Yes, I have the right to complain. We are not able to have an Olympics. We got to learn the discipline from Japan. Okay, today I'm going to focus on good things I learned from Japan. At a later date, I will talk about the negative aspects of living in Japan. There are a few, but I would like to talk about it. Now, when I came to Japan, I was shocked because of 4 seasons. They had clear 4 seasons: sakura season, and fall, and winter, snow, and that was another amazing shot. Maybe people living elsewhere may not have that, what do you call that, shock. But for me, it was a shock, because for me, where I come from, it is only warm, warmer, hot, hottest. These are the 4 seasons. And here the 4 seasons to see, I was shocked. And now, and then the volcano. Susan, can you pass that, please? Volcano. So I'm not able, I don't like to move around because I cough. See, I made this volcano. Can you see the volcano? This is my volcano, and of course, volcano, and we have lots of earthquakes, and we have tsunami. These are some of the drawbacks of living in Japan. But anyway, that's part of life. And now, when I started sending my children to school, Japanese schools, I obviously started comparing. How did I learn? How are these kids learning? How are they learning? And how can we improve? Or what can we learn from them? What can Japanese learn from us? Okay, these are some of the comparisons I started making, and that led to my starting of a school, international school, which became extremely popular. And I couldn't continue because of my sickness, but that's another story. And these are some of the things, aspects that attracted me. Now, in the meanwhile, I'll show you some of the arts and craft I made for Japan. This is one. Can you see that? Because these lines, I see it in Zen gardens of Japan. So I was amazed how beautiful they are, and I fell in love with that. So that's how I made this. And next, I'll showcase all the, what do you call that, crafts and arts I made. This is another one, okay? This is their food, sushi, and of course my favorite mountain, Mount Fuji. And these are some of the things that they are very popular, like the flowers and hanko, stamps, and I put all shells around to show that this is an island. This is an island. So I put all shells around, and then the fans, Japanese fans. And now these two, can you notice? This is Shinkansen, bullet train. And that is nothing but bullet train chopstick. Chopstick is their way of eating. They eat with chopsticks. So, but I got a chopstick designed like bullet trains. Okay, that takes care of both. This is another drawing of a Japanese girl standing on the bridge and enjoying the beauty of sakura. Can you see the Japanese girl Yes. Now, this is something known as their stamp. They have all kinds of stamps. So this is one of the stamps. Now, it kind of, you cannot adapt anything from another country as it is. You got to structure it to suit their culture. Their adaptability is very, very important. So even when I ran the school, I included all festivals, Japanese and Indian and other countries. Festivals I included. Because if you don't include, if you're not inclusive, then there is no point in educating children. Children have to be inclusive. Now, next, what I want to show is Zen garden. I said, can I have that?
You can pause that, you can edit it easier.
This is my Zen garden. Can you see the designs in it? Kyoto, there is a famous Zen garden. A lot of places there is a Zen garden. There are Zen gardens. So these are stones. So they also have stones and trees around, and for you to sit and gaze and enjoy the quietness. They're very, very still, what do you call that, gardens. There's no noise, so there is absolutely no noise, and it's pretty interesting. You have to come here to see it, to enjoy. Now, next, I made some bottle painting, and bottle painting I made. See, this is one of them. It's just my thinking, okay? And I'm going to get up and do it. That's okay. Can you see it? It's just gold, and some more, one more I have. This is for the 4 seasons. They have clear 4 seasons, which was mind-boggling for me. How can it change? How can you have such a hot summer and then it becomes autumn and then it snows? So that is something amazing for me, because I didn't grow up in a place where there are 4 seasons. So now, these are some of the things I did. Now, I learned a lot from living here, and it helps me grow in my adaptability, and it gave me a broader perspective of life, of experience of living in another country. When I came, there were hardly any Indians. Okay, there were like few Indians you can count. But now there are 45,000 Indians living in Japan. 45,000 is not a big number, but still it is big for Indians who live here. Now, I said I learned a lot. What did I learn? I learned that we can work hard, we can inculcate discipline in our life, and teach civic sense to kids. When they are very young, you teach them civic sense. Then they will be clean in their, by keeping their environment clean, and by taking care of other people's things. They respect another person's property, which is very rare. See, for example, when my son was little, maybe 5, 6 years old or 7 years old, he lost a cap, his jeans cap. Okay, he used to call it jewel cap because they used to have some stones there, and he lost in Disneyland, Tokyo. And when I was coming back, and he said we have to inform the lost and found place. I said, why do you have to do a simple, for a cap, why do you have to waste the time? Even the same thing my mother said. My mother was there that time. And he said, no, we have to do it. And then if you don't get it, it is different. But now we have to do it. So because he said that, I said, okay, we'll go complain. So we wrote in a piece of paper. They had a form. I wrote it. And then, to my astonishment, to my shock, utter shock, after a week, I get a nice pack from Disneyland, nicely washed and ironed a cap from Disneyland. My mother was shocked. So what? They would have spent more than that for postage than the cost of the cap. But anyway, I'm just saying how they respect another person's belongings, another person's property. This is what we learn. When we live in another country, we shouldn't be always worried about not living in our country or not living in another country. No, you make it a point to learn something new which you wouldn't have learned in India or in your own country. So that gave me, like, also because of living here, I had the benefit of traveling to more than 30 countries. And again, another learning process for my children. They learned a lot by traveling and by going through, by understanding their culture, because we spend quite a lot of time in each country we travel to. So that's another thing I could engage myself in Japan. Now, next, what I want to show you is the house I made. Whenever we travel across Japan, all by car. We travel from the northernmost to the southernmost to the easternmost to the westernmost. We travel everywhere by car with the kids so that we enjoy our travel, and we learned a lot of cultural aspects of Japan by traveling. You know, even in India, whenever we go, we travel a lot, not just stay in one place. No, we travel and learn. That learning, the urge to learn is there in every one of us. So that is something we have to, we have to go ahead with. We shouldn't be saying, okay, we finished learning. We have done our BE or ME or BA or BCom or whatever it is. No, learning doesn't end there. You learn throughout your life. And you share the learning with others. Now, whenever we travel, we go to villages, and this is something, it remained in me. Village, this is how a village house is. You know, there are mountains everywhere, and then there is a car, there is a bicycle, there is bamboo, and then there is just a minute. See that? A pond. I drew the fish also to show that there are fish. And these are some of the things that I want to share. And such importance they give to the what do you call that, beautification of anything, whether it is food or a gift wrapping. Everything is done with beauty. They give a lot of importance to beauty. And I just want to mention one thing here. When my mother-in-law visited us, and she used to go for a walk, she and her husband, my father-in-law, they used to go for a walk. And you know what she said? If I'm born again, I want to be born in Japan because the children are not scared. She has traveled to Europe and the US, and there when the children see us, they run away saying that, oh, strangers, strangers. But here, the kids are not scared. They're not scared at all. They come close to us, they touch us and see, what is this bindi? What is this sari? Everything they want to know about us, and they don't have fear. That is what, 6 years they go alone to school. You cannot drop them, you cannot pick them up. They have to go on their own. So such freedom is what is required for children to grow. That's another thing I learned in Japan. Now, this is the final thing I want to show. When I said Japan, I love bridges. Can you see the bridges? One bridge, and under the bridge I did, this is the festival. See, all kinds of things. I have written what remains in my mind about Japan. Okay, Mount Fuji is there, and then the torii, the what do you call that, gates, and the pagodas, and of course our car. Okay, so this is something that remains in my mind. Bridge, and along the bridge you always have fireworks. So these are some of the things that interested me, and I hope my learning and my sharing has helped somebody. Because when I ran the school, the children are doing fine, and I am very, very proud of what I have done here and what I have achieved. I hope I can share this with my friends and family and known or unknown people elsewhere. I'm not saying this is the best country. There is nothing like the best country. Every country has its own beauty, has its own faults. Okay, but we learn from the best, take out the good and forget about the bad. Try to inculcate good habits and good discipline, time consciousness. That's what I learned. And as I always say, nothing is impossible. I came out of sickness. The sickness was very scary, but I came out. My family was petrified, but I came out successfully with everything intact, and hope I can give you some more good videos of learning. And this is a bit long because I took more time to talk about various things, and hope you enjoy and like my video, share it and subscribe it please, and click on the notification, and that's all. See you till we see next time. Nothing is impossible. You work hard, you achieve. Bye-bye.